day to be baptized in the Greek Orthodox Church.
Hi, I'm Nia Vardalos, and you're listening to WICR. Want to hear it in my radio voice? Hi, I'm Nia Vardalos, and you're listening to WICR.
To send you a reminder. Here it is.
Now, back to AB Sports Conversation with Anthony Carlo and Ben Zino, the hero.
Back at it, AB Conversation. Anthony Carlo is the A in the AB Conversation. Ben Zino, the hero, the B. Anthony, we just got off the phone with Bill Latrice, Brooklyn native. Fantastic interview. Gave us a lot of insightful thoughts and his opinions about Brooklyn and the life of Brooklyn, and especially the Dodgers.
Yes, it was all wonderful to hear from Bill. He definitely did a great job explaining to us what it was like to be, because we can't envision it as much. We didn't live in that time period.
Yes.
We didn't feel the heartbreak as Dodgers fans did, as Giants fans did when both New York teams announced, especially the Dodgers today, to their fans that they'd be moving to California.
Yes.
So it was great to listen in to somebody who lived during that time period and can really give us a captivating moment.
Fast forward to today.
Fast forward 57 years later.
57 years later, October 8th is today's date.
Yes, it is.
And we have the NLCS and the ALCS teams already clinched.
Yes, they have.
Those games will be starting up on Friday. And before that, we have to discuss how these teams got into the championship series.
We do.
Two games happened last night.
Yes, they did.
The Dodgers and the Cardinals. Let's start off with that because that's the first thing I said.
Absolutely. Dodgers last night, Ben Zino, the hero. Okay, Clayton Kershaw had the opportunity to be a hero. You know why they don't call him K. Kersh the hero?
Why?
Because Clayton Kershaw suffered his second loss in this NLDS to the same team, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Ooh.
Now, in his opening start against the Cardinals, Clayton Kershaw didn't have his stuff.
Nope.
This is a guy we watched all year long absolutely freeze the National League. Not one hitter could put together a good at bat against Clayton Kershaw.
Except
Matt Adams last night, and also in game one, pretty much the whole Cardinals offense was able to get to the guy that was so good during the regular season that there was votes for him to not only be the Cy Young, but to be the MVP.
yes.
And after they bashed him around a little bit in the first outing Kershaw had against the Cards in this NLDS, he came to the rubber last night with an opportunity, a tired opportunity, especially pitching on 3 days rest,
Yes.
but nonetheless an opportunity to right his wrong and to take it to the Cardinals, the ones who were pretty much one of the few opponents that were able to rough him up, and be able to rise to the occasion and redeem himself and take his team one step closer to the National League Championship Series, but he could not.
Nope. And what's funny about Clayton, not funny, ironic, Clayton Kershaw had opportunities in the 7th inning in the first game and in the last game that he just pitched, and Clayton Kershaw did not complete the 7th inning well. The Cardinals got to him. It takes 7 innings to get to Clayton Kershaw in the Cardinals' perspective, and that's how they won both games that they did when Kershaw was pitching. But Kershaw, you mentioned 3 days rest. I think
Yes.
Clayton Kershaw is the only pitcher that can do this because he's the ace. He's the best pitcher in the league. This is what you expect for Clayton Kershaw. Yo, Clayton, I need you for the three days rest. You got me? Yeah, Don, I got you.
Ben, I'm sorry that I have to respect you. What you just said was brilliant. What you just said was genius-like, because what he just said right now is exactly the way that Don Mattingly was thinking by throwing Clayton Kershaw on 3 days rest. There's no question about it. It's not a brain surgery type of decision. What you said is fact, and that's it. You want your best pitcher out on the mound. That's why gamers go on short rest, especially postseason time,
Yep.
because they're the best person to put their team in a position to win the ballgame. Clayton Kershaw was flawless through 6 innings.
Yes.
Into the 7th inning, that is where he ran into trouble, and Matt Adams was able to tag him for a big 3-run home run.
He pimped the home run too a little bit. He threw the arms up.
Yeah, Matt Adams had he basically had. I mean, he deserved to do that.
Oh yeah.
He had excitement in him, and it was a moment that if I tried to describe it for Cardinals fans, I wouldn't be able to, because they're thinking, wow, Kershaw's on. He's finally on the mound, and he's on. We're not beating him around, and all of a sudden they get the big hit they needed.
2 plays before this big hit by Matt Adams, the defense of Clayton Kershaw let him down a little bit. D. Gordon, he almost had the ball.
Right.
The ball went past him.
Right.
Next play, Hanley Ramirez, the ball went off his glove. And then two men on base.
And then the big
Matt
blow.
Adams is up. He hits the home run. He delivers in the clutch.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you know what, Ben? There's not a whole lot you can do with a 3-1, a loss to a team who scored 3 runs off of you. A 3-run deficit, or I should say 3 runs up on the board for the opposition against Clayton Kershaw. That is, for any other pitcher, that's a respectable start.
Yep.
Now, come postseason time, given the circumstances, given the fact that this is a team that was responding very well with a great start out of their starter as well, and given the fact that you're on the mound with 3 days rest, there's a whole different circumstance. 3 runs is a couple too many, unfortunately. For Clayton Kershaw especially, and the type of pitcher he is that's bidding not only for the Cy Young but for MVP award, 3 runs is a couple too many. The Dodgers would have needed a shutout from Clayton Kershaw.
In this game, Anthony, Yasiel Puig, Game 4, Yasiel Puig did not play. He was
did
benched.
Not. Beautiful point.
He's coming off 0 for 8. 0 for 8.
7 straight strikeouts.
Wow.
7 straight.
And would have you bench Yasiel Puig? Because Puig can spark at any point. Yes, we know Yasiel Puig for being a high head and stuff like that, but the man makes plays. And even defensively as well. To bench him entirely, I don't think you should have done that for Don Mattingly.
Absolutely. If you look at this game, the Cardinals coming to Game 4, there are 2 games up on the series. And they come in and Puig is benched because if you look at the way that the offense was performing, they obviously weren't getting the production they needed. And Yasiel Puig, who's been one of the better players for the Dodgers all year, he was 3 for 12 with 4 runs scored in the series, and he went 5 for 22 with 10 strikeouts against the Cardinals in the NL Championship Series last year. Okay. So he hasn't had a good record against the Cardinals, and they had his number once again this year. If you have a player like Puig, who's a great player, dynamic, he's a game changer, great hitter, and you consider him one of the best players on your team, and you know that he's had 7 straight strikeouts, and you know that in your mind Andre Ethier, which is who Mattingly put in for him, in your mind gave your team the better chance to win.
Yep.
Would you do that? Would you sit one of your better players all year because he was in a slide in now a competitive postseason series to save your team?
Well, Ethier is no scrub.
No, he's not. No.
Ethier could be starting on any other team. But I liked how Mattingly put Puig in for a pinch runner when Ellis was that bad, I believe.
Yeah, he did pinch run for him.
Maybe Puig could have stole a base in that instance, get a run in. But in general, you got to go with Puig.
So you're taking the Puig mania train.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Listen, you bring up the fact that he put him in the game. He utilized him, which is almost essential. It's necessary to utilize Puig in some way in a game like this where the Dodgers have their backs against the wall.
Yep.
It's necessary that he had to be used some way. But it's just a joke because if you're going to compare that to the way he should have been used, it was way too minimal to make a difference in the game. And to start Puig and let him have 4 at-bats and have at least the opportunity to do the damage that he's capable of doing, that for many people would have been the right decision. I don't think you can hate on Don Mattingly for going by the books and going by the numbers and showing guts to sit down his star, who was slumping, to play the better hand that, in his opinion, that would be used to win the game. You cannot bash Mattingly for that.
Well, Anthony, question about the Dodgers. The Dodgers were picked in many people's cases,
including mine,
to win the whole shebang.
Yeah, well, I had them going to the World Series.
Okay, that too, but they're not.
No, they're not.
The Dodgers have a high payroll, correct?
They do have a high payroll.
You see a player of caliber of Hanley Ramirez. You see Puig. You see Gonzalez, Crawford.
Yeah.
But
Ethier, Kemp.
Yes, Kemp, exactly.
Kershaw, Greinke.
These are position players. But the guys you don't see, the bullpen?
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers should pay more attention to that.
Oh, they should. They definitely should. The Cardinals, listen to me, the Cardinals outplayed the Dodgers in the series. They outplayed in the respect that they, on paper, you had Johnny Peralta batting fourth for the Cardinals one game. Johnny Peralta has had a good year, but listen to me. When you compare these two teams on paper, like you said, the payroll backs up what the Dodgers should have been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Yankees, so many years they spent so much money on all these free agents, so many players. This past year, I mean, they spent so much money on players.
Yep.
And so many years, in past years, all these free agents to pump up the team, they only made it to the ALDS. They got eliminated in the ALCS. They didn't make it to the World Series.
That's not good enough.
No, it's not good enough. When you have a payroll like that and you're bringing in players who are being paid to put up big numbers like most of the Dodgers had, and you get outplayed by a team that's on paper just not as talented but played better, that's where you have to go in the offseason. You have to start making changes to this team. And the Dodgers have been letting fans down year after year because year after year they've been making it to this NLDS or the NLCS and they've just been failing.
It's not good. But the Cardinals, they do it once again.
Cardinals do it once again, and they will be meeting the San Francisco Giants in the National League Championship Series. The Giants defeated the Nationals last night. Bryce Harper, big impact in the series.
Yep.
Couple of big home runs, big in a couple of ways, big shots, tape measure shots, and big home runs to try and scrap his team together to come back, but they just couldn't do it against the pesky Giants.
The Giants, they're similar to the Cardinals. They find a way to do it. Giants coming in as a wild card team, and they might, paper-wise, you see they don't have that many big names. Sandoval, Posey, their pitching staff can be better. Even though with names Lincecum, Kane, and Bumgarner. Right. Bumgarner's been emerging.
Bumgarner took control of his pitching staff this year.
Yep. So, what can you say? The Giants done it again, and they deservingly be in that position that they're in now.
Right. So, Game 4 last night. Well, you know what? Honestly, not to take anything away from the Giants, because you go back to Game 1, Brandon Belt, RBI single, Buster Posey, RBI single. Nats come back within 1 on Harper's home run, and then the Giants save the game. They close it out 3-2. That's a straight-up win. The Giants beat the Nats.
Yes.
Game 2, Jordan Zimmerman takes a shutout into the 9th inning until Pablo Sandoval makes the pen pay with a game-tying double, and then Petit was able to hold down the save until Brandon Belt was able to walk off in the 18th inning.
The 18th inning?
That's in Game 2.
Oh, wow.
Brandon Belt's home run in the 18th inning, so that's another example of the Giants earning a win. Game 3, the Nats came up with a big win, but last night, Ben, you could be, if you're a Nationals fan right now, you're saying to yourself, the Giants did not deserve to win last night's game. And I'll explain to you why. After Bryce Harper tied the game in the 7th, Aaron Barrett came into the game for the Nats. With a tie game and a wild pitch with the bases loaded, allowed Joe Panic, by the way, who's from Yonkers.
Okay.
Joe Panic.
You're from Yonkers.
I'm from Yonkers.
Okay.
So a hats off salute to Joe Panic on the big stage right now to score the go-ahead run. And then the Giants bullpen implodes again. The Nationals bullpen implodes again. And the pitch that Aaron Barrett throws is over the head of his catcher, and what happens is the game is lost on a wild pitch on an intentional walk.
Oh, man. National fans shaking their head.
So let me take you through that one.
Wow.
Let me take you through that again. So Bryce Harper, you're the Nats. You got your best hitter at the plate. Bryce Harper sends one over the fence, tie game, 7th inning. Okay? Then you have Aaron Barrett come in. Okay, with the bases full, bottom of the frame, and he allows Joe Panic to score the go-ahead run in that inning. Now the Giants bullpen holds off the Nats, and they're able to take care of that game. But Aaron Barrett, his ball in the dirt, which bounced over the catcher Wilson Ramos with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, that was allowed the run to score, and then a half inning after Bryce Harper blast that solo shot to put his team at the advantage to win this game by tying it up. The Nationals try to intentionally walk Pablo Sandoval to reload the bases, and instead Barrett throws the ball over Ramos's head.
So the second wild pitch was in the 9th inning, I presume, or the 8th.
Right. So the second wild pitch, was in. Let's see, Barrett's wild pitch. That was in the inning after.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. That you know what? That was in. That was also in the 7th inning.
The 7th. Okay.
Yeah. So San Francisco had a chance to add a second run in the 7th, as Washington tried to intentionally walk Pablo Sandoval to reload the bases. But instead, Aaron Barrett, he sails the pitch over Ramos's glove. Okay? So now, what happens is in this particular play, the ball comes back off the wall
Okay.
to
The catcher.
Wilson Ramos, right. And he throws the ball now to Barrett to tag out Buster Posey trying to score. So they do wind up tagging out Posey at the plate.
Okay.
Okay? Then the Giants, what happened here was they basically gave the game away on a wild pitch.
Literally.
That's what happened.
Just throwing away games.
Right. The game was given away on a wild pitch, and even after that, the fact that I guess Barrett was rattled and he throws another wild pitch, I mean, it's just inexcusable.
Yeah.
If you're a Nationals fan, he put his team in a bad position to win that game with the wild pitch and then a second wild pitch, which didn't mean anything. But just looking back at that, I mean, it was just hard. It's hard for a Nationals fan.
So now we have the San Francisco Giants pinned up against the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's correct.
Who are you favoring?
Who are you favoring?
Okay, you're gonna ask me the question.
I will ask you the question because I'm tired of talking. right
right.
now, I just talked way too
My
much.
fault.
No.
These two teams are similar as they get it done. They're pinned up every year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, what is this? Their third straight year going to the NLCS.
Fourth straight year in the NLCS.
going. So it's no surprise to the Cardinals. But as a fan, oh wow, the Cardinals are in it again. Oh, the Cardinals. And when you see the Giants been winning World Series every other year.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a tough decision. Are these games going into 7 games now?
This is a 7-game
Okay,
set.
these are a 7-game set, and I am going to favor the Cardinals. Dun,
Wow.
dun, dun.
Cardinals for another World Series.
Chance. Yep.
They were back in the World Series last year. The Red Sox took them out of it.
Mhm.
So you think they're back for redemption?
Yes.
Listen, I mean, I like how you said both of these teams are similar because if you go back to the past 2 series they won to get to this point, you have the Cardinals beating a Dodgers team that many experts expected to finally be their year, where they can put that talent into action and they can come back and make it to the World Series finally, or
Yes.
make it to the NLCS, and then further that chance to make it to the World Series. And you get beaten by a team that just outplayed them. And the Cardinals and the Giants against, to me, the Nationals and the Dodgers are very similar because they have the names on the paper. Bryce Harper, as we mentioned with the Dodgers, Hanley Ramirez, Egon, Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig. They have the names on the paper, but they can't translate it. They can't translate it on the field when it comes to teams like the Cardinals, when it comes to teams like the Dodgers. You look at the Cardinals lineup. This is a probable lineup going into the NLCS. You have Matt Carpenter, Randall Grichuk, Matt Holliday, Johnny Peralta, Matt Adams, Yadier Molina, John Jay, Colton Wong, and Shelby Miller at 9th.
I forgot Matt Holliday was on the team. Wow, what a veteran.
Yeah, Matt Holliday's on the team. Now, you look at this team and you look at this offense, and you go 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a danger zone if you're a Giants pitcher.
Yes.
Because you're dealing with Matt Holliday. You're dealing with, all right, Johnny Peralta. Listen,
He can still pop.
he can still pop the ball, exactly. But then you follow it up with Matt Adams and Yadier Molina. The rest of these guys, I mean, they get the job done. Matt Carpenter, out of all these players in this lineup, Matt Carpenter is the most talented, to me, the most essential part of that lineup.
And just third baseman, Carpenter.
Matt Carpenter's a third baseman.
All right.
Yes, Matt Carpenter had a couple of. First of all, he's spraying the ball in the gaps the whole series, hit after hit after hit, and a home run to help his Cardinal team come to a conclusion in their series. Just did a phenomenal job offensively in the series against the Dodgers. So to me, he's the key player when you look at this offense. Matt Adams, of course, a huge home run last night. But you compare them to the Giants lineup. You compare them to this offense. You got Gregor Blanco leading off. Joe Panic at second base. Buster Posey at batting third and catching. Third baseman Pablo Sandoval cleans up. Hunter Pence bats fifth in right field. Brandon Belt bats sixth at first base. Brandon Crawford bats seventh at shortstop. Travis Ishikawa eighth, and Madison Bumgarner. Well, for that particular game, he was for that particular game he was pitching and batting ninth. But to me, the key player in this lineup, I'm gonna look at either Hunter Pence or Joe Panic being the key part of this lineup.
Hunter Pence has experience with the Phillies, winning the World Series. So and he has multiple playoff experience, I believe. Yeah, he has playoff experience. Hunter Pence, wasn't he a part of the Phillies?
No, Hunter Pence.
No.
Are you thinking of Jason Worth?
Yeah.
You're thinking of Jason Worth. Jason Worth is very similar to Hunter Pence.
They both played at the same position.
Yeah, and he was Worth is on the Nationals now. Played previously for the Phillies. Yes.
But Pence has experience.
Yes.
And I like how you mentioned that Hunter Pence being a major factor for the Giants.
Yeah, because look at the catch he made last night. Did you see that catch?
Wasn't it?
Crashing against the wall. Yeah. Look, these are clutch players. I'm going to look for Joe Panic and Hunter Pence to make a difference in this game. I feel like Panic hasn't been loud so far, but I think that he's going to make some noise in this NLCS coming up.
Got to represent the Yonkers.
Yeah.
YO.
I'm a fan of Joe Panic, because he I actually know somebody who knows Joe Panic.
Did he go to?
I can't remember who knows him, but I know somebody who knows Joe Panic.
Okay. Wait, like panic? Like don't panic?
Yeah, don't panic.
Don't panic.
The pitcher panics when Joe Panic gets up. I love a last name like Joe Panic and be able to say, I'm up at the plate, I'm in the dish.
You better panic.
I'm digging in, you better panic, man. You better
Joe's up, you better panic.
Yeah, Joe Panic. You know what, if you're going to force me to make a pick, Ben.
I ain't going to force you.
Let's see. If I have to make a pick in this series... Looking at their starting pitching, Madison Bumgarner and Adam Wainwright, those are the two big guns. You got Ryan Vogelsong, but he was
Michael Walker got to show up.
Walker from you remember Walker?
Yeah.
Walker with those big games last year. I am going to have to go.
It's a hard decision.
It's a very hard decision.
Can we talk about the ALCS, or you want to?
I'm going to give you my answer.
Okay.
Then we'll talk to. I'm going to say. This is a tough one.
I know.
Based on the fact that the Cardinals are coming off of. Based on the fact that I feel so much heat from both of these.
Yeah.
Teams. In one respect, it's another. To me, look, don't take offense if you're a Cardinals or Giants fan. It's a boring series for a baseball fan because it would have been more entertaining to see the Dodgers.
It's more glamour.
It would have been more entertaining to see the Dodgers and Nationals or something to that effect. But if I have to pick who's going to the World Series, I'm going to say. I'm gonna say Giants.
Giants.
I'm gonna go with Giants.
All right, stick to the Giants.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ALCS.
Yes, the ALCS.
Anthony, let me tell you how I feel about this ALCS.
Go right ahead.
I don't remember the ALDS occurring. It's literally I blinked and the ALCS was here. Why? Because teams got swept during the ALDS.
Yeah. And they've been off for a while.
Swept. The Tigers. We were wrong.
Did I say the Tigers? I did not.
No.
I said the Orioles.
Oh, wait. Maybe I said the Tigers. Oh, my fault. I apologize. Well, I was completely wrong. The pitching let me down, and I guess the Orioles pitchers took that spot of headlining. So, and in the other series, it was 3-1?
In the
Royals-Angels.
The Royals swept the Angels, I believe.
So
let me look back. Let me get.
It's literally you blinked, and the ALCS is here. I don't recall the Angels putting up a fight because if they got swept, they didn't put up a fight.
The Royals swept the Angels in 3 games.
That's crazy.
The Angels.
Yeah, the Angels.
Mike Trout was like 1 for 9 going into that last game. Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton. You said it the best. These guys were doing nothing.
Yes.
Lack of productivity.
It's crazy. Jiggity, what up? Producer Jiggity. Jiggity, let's
Producer
go.
Jiggity.
Are those 3 guys for the Angels?
Josh Hamilton.
The batting average together was a .088. .87.
Now come into the mic and say that,
my
Jiggity.
gosh.
Jiggity.
Sit down. Our producer has a fun fact.
There were 3 for 34, and their combined batting average was .087.
Oh my gosh.
Look at
Below
Jiggity.
100.
Look
Oh,
at-
below 100.
Wow.
Ben, below 100.
That's crazy.
Those 3 hitters are some of the
Oh,
best hitters in the major leagues. You ready for an Anthony rant?
Yeah, get the level.
Show up.
Whoa.
Show up.
Whoa.
Next time, if I'm an Angels fan, I'm not, but I'm going to act like one. Show up. Mike Trout, sorry, but you will never be Derek Jeter. And I am not, as a baseball fan, giving you the face of baseball if you don't show up. Because you got to be in it to win it. And Derek Jeter was always in the postseason to win it. I don't care if the Yankees team was better and helped him out and gave him chances in the World Series to hit the game-winning home run. But I'll tell you one thing. Mike Trout, 1 for 9 going into that last game. I don't care if you hit a home run. That's nothing. That is nothing. And Mike Trout, Josh Hamilton, and 8 Pujols. I don't even know who you are, Albert Pujols, anymore. 45 home runs to 28? What kind of crap is that? And then not showing up in the postseason when your team needs you? .87? You gotta be kidding me, Rob. Rob, you have to be kidding me. An 87 batting average between the 3 of them? That's not even 100. These are the 3. Put those 3 hitters together are better than the Royals team in total. Eric Hosmer is not better than you, Albert Pujols. Mike Moustakas is not better than you. Billy Butler is their biggest hitter. Who the hell is Billy Butler? Who the hell is Billy Butler? Nobody. And you out-hit Mike Trout. You out-hit the so-called quote-unquote new face of baseball. The best hitter in the league, Mike Trout. That's who your name is? You out-hit him? Mike Trout, you want a name like that? You want Derek Jeter to pass the baton to you to hold the face of baseball and hit the baseball. Hit it. Hit the baseball. Okay?
Back to AB conversation. Ben Zino, the hero here. Rob Jiggity, what just happened?
The point of the story is hit the baseball.
Hit the baseball.
Oh,
Back
man.
to AB conversation. We had a very good rendition of WCW announcing by Anthony Carlo. Very impressive. But Anthony pretty much said it. If you could hear the audio, the Angels did not show up and they did not hit, and they're eliminated. That's why we're watching the Orioles and the Royals face off in the ALCS.
we are.
2 teams that deserve it. Yeah, we are. In a monotone. Yeah, we are.
I have no energy left after that one.
Crazy.
Ben, it was something that needed to be said. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For an Angels fan, it
Yeah.
was something that needed to be said.
You got to hashtag that.
It was something that needed to be said. And the Royals, God bless you. God bless you. God bless a team like the Royals who doesn't have all the talent in the world but shows up teams with more talent. God bless you because you're hungry. You have the eye of the tiger. Rocky was not always the most talented fighter in the ring. In fact, he never was. But he rose because of that hunger inside, and that's what the Royals did.
I alluded to last episode how the Royals can play big ball better than the Angels can play small ball. So that was the case. Even though we did both pick the Angels.
We both did pick the Angels. That's why I'm so upset.
We expected them to beat this little team from Kansas City.
Yeah, this little team from Kansas City who will now be squaring off against the Orioles with now, let me get this straight with you, Ben. We already talked about this a little bit, but this little team, which I agree with you, they're not a big team. They are freaking good. You know why? Because their bullpen is shut down between Holland, Davis, and Herrera. They are lights out. The Tigers bullpen sucks. Okay?
Sucks.
Joakim Soria, Jabba Chamberlain, Joe Nathan.
Jabba.
I don't care how big or bad the Tigers think they are. They suck because the Royals, who have a less talented team on paper, have a more talented, arguably the best bullpen in the game.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, the Royals know how to get the timely hits. Eric Hosmer knows how to hit the home run when his team needs it. The team with the least home runs in the major leagues will be squaring off with the Orioles, who has the most home runs in the major
Nelson
leagues.
Cruz leading it with 40.
Right, they hold the home run champ crown on that team. They will be faced, but the Royals know how to get it done, Ben.
Yes.
They know how to get it done. They know how to hit the home run when it counts. So it doesn't, I don't give a crap if they can't hit 50 home runs a year, like 40 home runs like Nelson Cruz can. But they have players on the team that, whether it be a bunt in a big situation, a suicide squeeze, whether it be a stolen base, which, mind you, they lead the league in the majors in stolen bases, or whether it be that home run, they know how to get it done.
They putting the pieces together, and that painting's looking good for them.
But don't you dare, if you're out there right now, listening to me right now, don't you dare think that the Orioles are not as hungry.
Oh, nah, they want that.
Because the Orioles haven't been in this spot since 1997. We're back in the late 90s. The Orioles have not been here in a while.
Yep.
The Orioles are hungry. And they have fought from day one to now to ensure that this was going to be their season.
Because once they were in the top of the division at one point, and once they got in top of the division, sweeping the AL East, what they finished with, 13 games above the second place team.
12 games above the Yankees.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we're here. We're not here for games. We're playing games, and we're not here for games.
Yeah.
Trying to get this World Series ring.
Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting series, Ben, because I'll tell you one thing. Both pitching staffs are good. Chris Tillman, Wei-Yin Chen, and Bud Norris outdueled Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, and David Price.
Wait, don't all the pitchers you just named just have Cy Youngs? All the pitchers?
All those pitchers, Max Scherzer, yes.
Yes.
Justin Verlander, I think more than one. And David Price, yes. So all those pitchers were outdueled by Chris Tillman. And we spoke about this. We gave our votes. We were like talking about how the experience plays into it. That the Tigers, even though Verlander had like a 4.5 ERA during the regular season, we said there's a chance he'll be able to beat Wei-Yin Chen, which he did. Mm-hmm. Wei-Yin Chen actually got tagged for 5 runs in that game. But in other comparison, Chris Tillman bared down, and he beat Max Scherzer, Tigers ace. Bud Norris bared down in a huge game, and he beat the guy that the Tigers got to
David
ensure
Price,
the
great acquisition.
Right. So the Orioles are pitting up. That's Rob's great acquisition.
Rob's great acquisition.
Rob's great acquisition. Last show, Rob had mentioned David Price was the great acquisition. He was. I mean, Rob had it right.
But not in that instance.
The Royals throw out they're going to throw out a kid who throws 100 miles per hour, Ventura. They're going to throw out Jeremy Guthrie, and they're going to throw out their ace, Big Game James
Shields,
who has not failed this team yet, taking down John Lester and then bringing it home and bringing the Royals to the ALCS. Give it up for Big Game James. Give it up for Big Game James. Ben, I don't know about you. I am not making a prediction. I don't know who's going to win the series.
In this series, I'm just trying to watch some good baseball.
Yeah.
This is really nitty-gritty baseball.
It is.
The Royals show all aspects of the game.
They do.
They can hit. They pitch. They defend well. Small ball.
Let's call up Lorenzo Cain of the Kansas City Royals center field. We'll call him up and we'll ask him, how well can you defend, Lorenzo Cain? That's right, Lorenzo Cain. You defend so well. You make diving catches all over the place.
He's nice with it.
Defense between him and Naori Aoki in right field was stellar. Stellar.
Yeah.
You were right.
Didn't they collide nearly and made a catch?
They might have, yeah. But I know they made some pretty web gems out there.
Web gems.
And this is a team now. The reason why I'll make a prediction because all our fans want to hear us make a prediction.
All your fans want to hear your prediction.
All our fans, Ben. But honestly, bullpens are very similar. Even though the Royals have the best bullpen in the major leagues, the Orioles are not far behind.
Mm-hmm.
Between Andrew Miller, who mowed down the Tigers' middle of the order in the 8th inning of the last game, and Darren O'Day and I'm sorry. Jesus, escaping me now.
A pitcher from
the Orioles closer.
Oh man. Oh, what's his name? I forgot. It's I forgot or I don't know. But I'm gonna go with I forgot.
Andrew Miller. All right, we'll get back to that one. But they have a very good bullpen, and the fact is that the offenses are totally different.
Yes.
But they get the job done in different ways. So if you have the same result at the end, who cares how you get it done? The Orioles get it done with pop. The Royals get it done with stealing bases and getting timely hits.
Yes.
And then you go to defense. Listen.
The Royals have to play good defense because that's their strong suit. Defense is their main thing.
So this is going to be an interesting series to watch, and I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to pick The Baltimore Orioles.
You're going to pick the Orioles. For me, Anthony, I would like to pick the Orioles. But I would like to see the story, the Rocky story of the little team from Kansas City, Missouri going into the World Series. Wouldn't that be something? The team that hasn't been in the World Series since Rocky IV, making a Rocky story, being in the World Series. So for that, I've never seen any of the Rocky movies, but if the Royals make it, that's my version of seeing Rocky.
I still can't believe you've never seen any of the Rocky
Yo,
movies.
you should see me in my TV writing class. I see no movies. Cosby, shout out to Professor Cosby. She's like, oh, so have any of you seen this? Everybody in the hand raises their hand except for me. In
Really?
all the instances, yeah.
But you know what I remember in that class? There was a lot of movies I didn't know either. Yeah, a lot of those movies I didn't see either.
But shout out to Professor Cosby.
Shout out to Professor Cosby. And just to make that clear, who I was trying to think of was Zach Britton.
Zach Britton.
Zach Britton, Darren Day, Tommy Hunter, all beautiful in that bullpen. This was a long segment.
Yes, so let's check the time now.
Yeah.
Make a Difference Week is also at Iona. Let's not get that twisted. Make a Difference Week, it was really good. Me and Robert and myself, Rob Jiggity, went to an event, and it's just different ways. Different clubs are having events this week. Project Bro is having an event on Friday.
Awesome.
And yeah, that is pretty awesome. And it's 5:34 at the moment.
Oh, we got lots of time.
What time's your class? 6?
Yeah, 6 o'clock, baby.
But
We
what
go-
do you want to do?
Oh, we
You
go.
want to chop this segment? Or what?
We're gonna take a commercial
All
break right
commercial
now.
break.
Commercial break. We will come back. We got some football.
Football talk.
We got some football here. You do not want to miss the rest of this AB conversation. You do
Anthony
not.
might go on another rant
I
talking
might.
about the Jets, but
I might have a heart attack and blow a blood vessel. You want to hang around to see. Ben Zino, Anthony Carlo will be right back.
And much, much more. Listen along live on live365.com and ustream.com. Just search for WICR.
This is Jessie Ledoux, Miss International 2013, Class of 2010. You're listening to WICR.
This is